What is going on, guys? It's Mount Rushmore coming back to you with another NFL mock draft. And today, I'm going to do a full mock draft on the San Francisco 49ers. So, it's going to be a 7-rounder. They have at least one pick in each round, if not more. So, before we start, I just want to tell you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Just go down there, press that subscribe button, and we'll start. So, here we go. So the first pick isn't too far away. It's pick number 12. And before I start drafting, I just want to say that the 49ers didn't do as great as they did last year, but most of the reason was their entire team was ravaged by injuries, and that can do that. This was a bad year for the 49ers, but I know that if they have less injuries next season, then they can come back with the force they had in the 2019 to 2020 season. But before that happens, they need to make a few strong picks in the draft, and one pick they need to make is they need to go with a cornerback here. They need to take cornerback Jaycee Horn of South Carolina. And in 3 years with South Carolina, Horn had 101 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 interceptions. So, pretty good stats. He is a great cornerback, and now that Richard Sherman, he's not getting any younger, they need to find a suitable replacement, and I think Jaycee Horn is that guy. He's young, he's fast, he has great hands, and he can go up there, get the ball, and create turnovers. So I think San Francisco lacked turnovers this year, and I think Jaycee Horn can kind of get them back on track with turnovers. So I'm going to take him here, and to be honest, I feel like he is going to be a first-round pick. Even if the 49ers don't pick him, by the way, I think they will. Even if they don't pick him, I think he's going to be a first-round pick, no matter which team picks him, because of his great ability. All right, round 2, pick 43. Let's go edge rusher. Let's stay on defense. And here, I'm going to take Dayo Odeyingbo of Vanderbilt. And yes, they have edge rushers. They got Eric Armstead, they got Nick Bosa. But like I said, their team was ravaged by injuries. 49ers fans, if you're watching this right now, you guys are probably shaking your heads, trying to forget this entire 2020 season. And I think that Dayo Odeyingbo would be a suitable edge rusher replacement if there's another injury there. And if not, he just adds a little more depth to the position. And in 4 years with Vanderbilt, Dayo Odeyingbo had 126 tackles, 12 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and an interception. So the interception probably tells you that he has fast reflexes, because if you are an edge rusher and you get an interception, you most likely have fast reflexes. And he is a big guy. The 12 sacks, 1 forced fumble, he's a pretty big guy, and he can get the ball loose. And like I said earlier, the 49ers were kind of lacking turnovers this season, and I think Dayo Odeyingbo can bring that turnover number up, like it was doing last season, the season where they made it to the Super Bowl. Okay, the round 3 pick, it is pick number 102, so there is a little while before they get to pick, not too much of a wait, but here I'm just going to say, I'm going to probably go on offense here. And yes, they have a truly loaded offense. They have one of the most loaded offenses in the league. You got Brandon Aiyuk, Deebo Samuel, Kendrick Bourne, George Kittle, Raheem Mostert, and that's not naming all of them. But with their quarterback future uncertain, because there have been trade rumors with Jimmy Garoppolo, I think here they're going to take a quarterback, and here I think they're going to take Jamie Newman of Georgia. And in 3 years with Georgia, Newman had 3,959 passing yards with a 60.5% completion rate, 35 passing touchdowns, and 10 rushing touchdowns. So, I think he would be a suitable replacement if Jimmy Garoppolo is traded. I think he also adds in that running element that Garoppolo doesn't really have. Neither does Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard. So I think Jamie Newman is kind of like a double threat here with his passing ability and his running ability. And he has a pretty strong arm. So he's going to be able to hit those guys deep. He's going to be able to hit Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle, Kendrick Bourne. He's going to be able to hit all of their weapons pretty deep. So I think Jamie Newman might be the future of the 49ers. Okay, round 4, pick 117. Let's look at an offensive lineman here. And here, I'm probably going to take Ben Cleveland of Georgia. And yes, by the way, yes, it does say David Moore of Grambling is projected to be pick 117. But I just overall think Ben Cleveland is a better lineman because Ben Cleveland, he's a big guy. He's 6'6", 354 pounds. So he's a pretty big guy. And if you, for some reason, if you just started watching football this season and you didn't see Raheem Mostert at his full level, then you need to watch some tape on him. But if you have been watching football for a couple of years, you know how much of a thorn in other defenses' sides Raheem Mostert is. He's actually like a knife. He just gashes opposing defenses. But I think Ben Cleveland of Georgia can actually help him become more dangerous, if that's even possible. So I'm going to take him here. He seems like the most suitable pick here, and I really want the 49ers to draft him. I would love to see Cleveland turn into a big offensive lineman in the NFL. Okay, so the round 5 pick, we have 3 picks in this round. The first round 5 pick is pick 156, and here I'm probably going to stick with the offensive line and take an offensive tackle. And here I am probably going to go down. I'm probably going to scroll down. And I'll probably take Brendan James here of Nebraska. So he is a big guy. He's a pretty big guy, and he can protect the quarterback. Whoever it is if it's Jimmy Garoppolo, if it's Nick Mullins, if it's Jamie Newman, if it's whoever it is, Brendan James can protect him. And offensive tackles are one of the biggest positions on the offensive line. And specifically left tackle if your quarterback's right-handed. And I think Brendan James here is the best guy for them to take. Overall, he is a really good offensive tackle. He can play left tackle or right tackle. So he's really flexible there. And he can block for Raheem Mostert or Deebo Samuel, whoever's running, and he can also protect the quarterback. So I think he's the best pick there. He is going to be my pick there, and I think the 49ers should really take him there. All right, round 5, pick 173. Let's look at a running back because Raheem Mostert went out with an injury, and again, I said earlier the team was ravaged by injuries. Mostert went out with an injury, and they need a suitable replacement. And here, I think Jarrett Patterson of the Buffalo Bulls, is the best running back to take here. They need some new talent, and Patterson has it. In 3 years with Buffalo, Patterson had 636 attempts for 3,884 yards at 6.1 yards per carry and 52 rushing touchdowns. So he is a great running back. He doesn't have the size advantage, but he has speed, he has hands, and he's kind of like a dual threat running back. He can catch, he can run, and overall, when he was in college, I just loved watching Jarrett Patterson. He was probably one of my favorite running backs in the entire college football. So I'm going to take him there. The 49ers, they just can't miss this opportunity. He's one of the best running backs to take this late in the draft, and he is going to make a huge impact. I just know that. Okay, pick 182 of round 5. Told you there were 3 picks in this round. So here, I'm going to take a safety. Yes, I'm focusing on the backfield a lot, and they don't really have a problem with backfield, but I think their depth should be improved. And that's why at safety, at pick 182, I'm going to take Christian Uphoff of Illinois State. And in 2 years with Illinois State, he had 8 tackles. Yes, that doesn't sound that great, but he had 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 3 interceptions. So at best, those are mediocre stats. I know those doesn't sound so great, and I wouldn't blame you if you just got out of this video right away. But before you do that, listen to me. He opted out of the 2020 season because of COVID-19. The 8 tackles, that is no problem. I think he can make tackles. Making tackles for him is probably as easy as eating or writing. Something that comes naturally. Anyway, and the sack, that 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 3 interceptions. That shows you how valuable of a safety he is. And if you don't believe me here, guys, watch some tape. Watch some film on him, and you'll see why I'm taking him here. So I really think he is the guy who the 49ers need, and he is who I'm going to draft. That is my firm opinion on who the 49ers should take as a safety. Okay, round 6, pick 196. Let's look at a linebacker. A lot of L's. Anyway, so here I'm probably going to just keep scrolling down, and I'm going to take Buddy Johnson here of Texas A&M. And in 4 years with the Aggies, he had 200 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 1 interception, and a touchdown. So guys, for a linebacker that's being picked pretty late in the draft, round 6, those are great stats. He would be a great steal here. He feels like a steal, and overall, he is a really good linebacker, and I think the 49ers need him. Like I said, even their linebacker room was being ravaged by injuries. They made a Quan Alexander trade to the Saints, so they lost a good linebacker there, and I think Buddy Johnson can kind of fill the hole there. So I'm going to take him here, and I think he's kind of an experiment. He's kind of a gamble, because sometimes he plays well, sometimes he doesn't, but I think this is going to be a gamble that won't fail. It can't possibly fail. All right, here we are, round 7, pick 224. We have 2 picks in this round, and here I'm going to take a wide receiver. And yes, they have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the NFL, but I've said this in a few drafts in the past, but I think there's nothing wrong with taking a wide receiver. Another wide receiver, having that extra depth there. Because if one wide receiver's game goes down, I think another wide receiver can kind of surprise the defense. And that wide receiver would probably be Warren Jackson of Colorado State. And in 3 years with Colorado State, he had 124 receptions for 1,789 yards and 14 touchdowns. So he's an explosive guy. I think he would make a great 4th string wide receiver or 5th string, I don't know. But if there was to be injuries again to like Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk, Kendrick Bourne, anyone, he can fill that hole there. It's kind of like if you add layers to something you're building, then if one layer breaks, you have another layer to back it up. And that layer to back up the wide receiver room is probably Warren Jackson here. I think it's Warren Jackson. So I'm going to take him. No doubt about it. He is probably one of my favorite wide receivers coming in this late in the draft. All right, here we are, round 7, pick 234. Guys, this is the last pick of the day. And here I'm going to take an interior defensive lineman. So, yes, they don't really have a problem with interior defensive linemen, but like I said earlier about the layers, it doesn't hurt to have an extra layer backing up the first string. I think they need an interior defensive lineman to back up their already good interior defensive lineman. So here I'm going to take Forrest Merrill of Arkansas State. And in 3 years with Arkansas State, Merrill had 119 tackles, 9.5 sacks, and a forced fumble. So, yeah, they aren't great stats. I mean, he was averaging about 3 sacks per year, so he was averaging three sacks a year. Yeah, so that's not bad for an interior defensive lineman. But the one thing that I look for in most interior defensive linemen, for most defensive tackles, is probably how good are they at stopping the run. Because yes, they can create pressure, but I think the edge rushers' jobs are to create pressure, but the defensive tackles' jobs are a little harder. They got to stop the run. And I think Forrest Merrill here is really a great run stuffer, and he can make this 49ers defense that's already it's already a really great defense. He can make it a run-stopping defense. He can make it like the 2020 Bucks defense was when it comes to the running game. So I'm going to take him for the last pick of the day. I think he would really help the 49ers just go out with a bang. So that was the last pick. I said that. And so, like always, if you're new to my drafts, we go over the picks. So if you missed anything, you don't need to go back. You can just keep watching. You can just keep relaxing. So here, pick 12, J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina. Pick 43, Dayo Odeyingbo, edge rusher, Vanderbilt. Pick 102, Jamie Newman, quarterback, Georgia. Pick 117, Ben Cleveland, interior offensive lineman, Georgia. Pick 156, Brendan James, offensive tackle, Nebraska. Pick 173, Jarrett Patterson, running back, Buffalo. Pick 182, Christian Uphoff, safety, Illinois. And last but not least, pick 196. Pick 196, Buddy Johnson, linebacker, Texas A&M. Sorry about that little slip. Pick 224, Warren Jackson, wide receiver, Colorado State. And now, last but not least, pick 234, Forrest Merrill, interior defensive lineman, Arkansas State. So, thanks guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for your comments. And I said this at the beginning of the video, but if you kind of skipped ahead, that's no biggie. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Leave any comments. I usually leave a comment in which it asks for any teams you want me to do, and you can just type any team under that comment. So you can do any team that you want. I'm not doing this by a specific order, so it's kind of like a first come first serve thing. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day, and 49ers fans, hope this season goes better than the last. Hope this season is like the 2020 season, and hope they can go all the way. So see you guys next time. Have a good day. Bye.